Hi guys, it's Sienna Mae Gomez.
What's up guys, it's Jack Wright.
We're not dating. Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
Do you want a girlfriend?
No.
Viral TikTok that shows Jack passed out on a couch and Sienna trying to take advantage of him.
After Sienna found out about the video, she said sorry. She said if this got out, she would be done. That it's horrible.
If you really feel like I assaulted you, why didn't you report me?
Wait a minute.
Your hand is on his crotch.
We must always listen to victims. Yes, Jack was a victim of sexual assault, but not by me.
So here she decides to out him as a survivor of SA.
I remember that video. It looked quite bad to me.
You did a bad thing, and I need you to just do us all a favor and admit what you did was wrong.
It wasn't just one time or two times or even three times that Sienna overstepped her boundaries.
I'd wake up to her hand in my pants.
Maybe James Charles? Like, he knows what he's doing. I think he just would have a lot of good advice to offer. I am a victim of continual attempts to cancel me and slander my name with false claims.
First thing you think about is your career and not the person that you groped.
Yeah.
I mean, if a dude gropes a blacked out woman, that's just straight up jail, bro.
I'm young and I'm still navigating the world and this industry, and obviously I will not always get it right the first time.
Oh, hi there. Hello, hi. It's my face again. Swoop, 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 swoop. Oh, I choked. Oh, child. Okay, wow. Hi, good to see you again. If you are seeing me for the first time, welcome. I make documentaries and short films on unsolved cases, true crime, and social media influencers who abuse their power because, as I always say, it's not drama, it's dangerous. We also dig deeper into the root psychology, and sometimes we take it to Petty University, bitch, okay? We are in full regalia. Cause, bitch, we stay ready for Petty. It is so good to be back. You ever have that time in your life where just like so many things and issues and surprise problems like all hit you at the exact same time and you're just like, ah. That was my last couple of weeks, but the bitch is back.
Bam, oh, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
Now this is part one of a two-part series that I am doing on the Jack Wright Sienna Mae situation that many of you have requested. So for part one, I am going to dive into the timeline of events leading up to Jack Wright's final expose video and all of Sienna's alarming manipulation tactic. And for part two, we'll dig all into Jack's video and Sienna's absolutely horrifying podcast interview with her lawyer and video forensic expert.
One of the stories he told was that I like put my legs around him in a bathroom. A lot of the things that were being said like obviously look terrible.
I'm telling y'all, part two about to be a damn circus, y'all. Okay, you are in for a ride.
Autobots, roll out.
Now, for legal clarification, every accusation I address is alleged, and while there is video evidence to consider, you should form your own opinion, and I will be addressing sensitive topics like rape and assault, which I will abbreviate as R-word and SA, because for some reason it's 2022 and we're still not allowed to openly talk about these topics without the fear of the machine, so, cheeky. Real quick, I want to give a huge thank you to today's sponsor, Raycon, who make absolutely amazing earbuds that y'all will love, as well as today's charity donation. So I use earbuds all the time, whether I am editing these docs or listening to music and podcasts while I go on walks, and I don't know about you, but like finding the perfect earbuds has always been a struggle for me when it comes to sound and the fit of them, and Raycon's everyday earbuds have literally changed the game for me. The new Raycon everyday earbuds have a beautiful rubber oil slick look and feel with optimized gel tips for the perfect in-ear fit. Like literally, no matter what I do, give you a little shake test. Oh, I am dizzy. No matter what I do, these babies do not fall out. Come on, bitch. She go stay put, she go stay put. So these actually come with several different size gel tips to give you options for your fit, and they create like this perfect seal in your ear, which hugely helps reduce outside noise, which is amazing. And Raycon offers a massive 8 hours of playtime and 32-hour battery life. Comes with a portable charging case, and there is a built-in mic so you can easily take calls with just the single press of a button. And probably the best part is they are literally like half the price of other premium audio brands, but they sound just as good, and they come with a 45-day happiness guarantee. So to grab yourself a pair of the Raycon Everyday Earbuds, click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/swoop to unlock exclusive deals up to 20% off your Raycon order. Love that for us. So treat yourself and a friend, honey. You deserve it. I want to thank y'all for continuing to watch these docs and check out the sponsors week after week, which encourages them to continue sponsoring, which is what enables me to be able to make these in the first place and continue to make these charity donations. But honestly, most importantly, like, I'm just so grateful for all of you. Like, I never thought in a million years that I would have such a beautiful community. Y'all mean so much to me. And also, I will be donating a portion of today's sponsorship to UNICEF, who is on the ground in eastern Ukraine right now, providing emergency services, food, water, shelter, and protection for children in Ukraine. I will link that below if you would like more information. Okay, back to the doc.
Before I start, I stand with what I said in the last video. I did not sexually assault Jack Wright.
Okay, let's dive into this, starting with some quick background. So Jack Wright and his twin brother James were born on March 29th, 2003, which will make them 19 years old later this month. Now, Jack started his social media career on Instagram in 2016, and in 2019, after posting to TikTok and quickly growing a following, he joined the Hype House Collective in Los Angeles, and he currently has 10.4 million followers on TikTok and 325,000 subscribers on YouTube. Now, Sienna Mae Gomez is also a social media influencer, born January 16th, 2004, having just recently turned 18. And now, Sienna Mae grew in popularity at the age of 16 when her first TikTok video went viral, and she has since posted body positive and dance adjacent videos. I honestly don't know what I'm supposed to call these, but she got super famous for it, so, you know, yeet. Now, she also joined the Hype House and amassed 14.1 million followers on TikTok, eventually losing around 400,000 followers after all of this stuff came out that we're gonna discuss.
Hey guys, I've heard the messages from many of you and I'm deeply sorry for any offense caused. I'm young and I'm still navigating the world and this industry.
Now, this isn't Sienna's first controversy. That's right. At the ripe old age of just last year, Sienna released a merch line that said, "Did you eat today?" And whoo, child, did people take offense. Now, many people thought that it was insensitive to people who are currently living with eating disorders, and I would even go one step further and say that this could also impact people who are experiencing food insecurity. So a statement asking, like, "Did you eat today?" could feel like a metaphorical punch in the gut, you know what I mean? Now, Sienna initially responded with a now deleted post by defending her merch line, but you know, folks weren't having it. They said, you know what? Send that shit to the streets. Like, no, Sienna Mae. I kind of feel sometimes like someone just needs to tell Sienna no. Sienna, no. Don't do it, Sienna. Just a few hours later, Sienna posted this lovely apology video on TikTok.
Hey guys, I've heard the messages from many of you and I'm deeply sorry for any offense caused. I'm young and I'm still navigating the world and this industry, and obviously I will not always get it right the first time. I care deeply about inclusivity and I strive to lead by example. That means listening. With that said, I have heard you and I have removed the merch. Be nice to someone today. We're all struggling with something.
Now, I don't personally think that her intention was to hurt people with this merch line, but I do want to underscore the focus on being young.
I'm young and I'm still navigating the world and this industry, and obviously I will not always get it right the first time.
She essentially blames being young as the reason she made the mistake. This isn't the last time, and will become the central theme to like every single statement that Sienna makes moving forward regarding the SA allegations from Jack Wright. Deflection based on her age instead of accountability.
I'm young and I'm still navigating the world and this industry.
We need to make an announcement. We're not dating. We've known each other for 7 years.
Okay, back to the setup. Now, Jack and Sienna first met in high school, and Sienna became close friends with his brother James, but it wasn't until Jack accompanied her on an interview in Los Angeles that Jack and Sienna became close, posting TikTok content together starting around October of 2020, in which the internet do what the internet do, and people began speculating if they were dating. Now, here's where things start to get confusing about their relationship, but we'll call it the situationship. So Jack and Sienna posted countless videos together, very touchy-feely, kissing, dancing, and so on, and it happened so often that fans became preoccupied with finding out if they were dating, to which they would never give a straight answer.
Are you guys dating?
They essentially baited their relationship with videos like, am I dating Jack Wright, our first date, surprise date night with Jack Wright, and like so on. Like, y'all get the idea.
We need to make an announcement. We're not dating. We've known each other for 7 years.
Now, it recently came out that the relationship was basically a PR stunt, like a fake online relationship, but they never officially confirmed being exclusive. Y'all, I gotta just take a sidebar real quick. Talking about the dating lives of teenagers just kind of got me like,
I'm coming for you! No.
Medic!
No.
And I'm back. In the summer of 2021, a video was released by one of Jack Wright's friends alleging that Sienna had essayed Jack on numerous occasions, and Sienna responded with several videos denying the accusations.
I unequivocally deny the allegations that I sexually assaulted Jack Wright.
Before I start, I stand with what I said in the last video. I did not sexually assault Jack Wright.
And just over a month ago, in January 2022, Jack Wright put out a video titled What Sienna May Did to Me, accusing Sienna of multiple instances of SA and abuse.
So when I was at my most vulnerable state, asleep or passed out, that's when she would take advantage of me, because she knew I was at my most vulnerable state. When I'm awake, I hated it. I hated that touch. I hated any intimacy with her. She would break into my house, and when I was sound asleep, she'd come into my room, and I'd wake up to her hand in my pants. And it wasn't the only time it happened too. A lot of the time it's usually the nice people that let people walk all over them. And that was me. I let everyone just walk all over me. I learned how to be more bold and finally say no and know that it was right to speak out.
And Sienna doubled down on her denial.
Once again, I'm having to give context to a video that was put out and immediately deleted.
And the shit gets really heavy.
That night she posted a 15-part aggressive video gaslighting everything about what happened.
After the initial claims that were falsely made by Mason Rizzo, I put out a video that showed evidence and was very well received because people could see the true intention.
Which was all lies.
And though it's alleged, I am someone who believes victims when they share their story. I am often biased with that because I am a survivor myself, and I do want to look at this from the perspective of the damaging effects of Sienna's responses and how Jack is being treated as an alleged male victim. Now, I do want to underscore that while Jack and Sienna are both 18 and legally adults, they were 17 during the time that these allegations came out, and in all seriousness, we need to take the age into account when it comes to how they have responded. We know that the brain is not fully developed until around age 25, so we should be mindful of that. But on the other hand, and what many people haven't discussed in regards to this, is that consent and boundaries can be taught and understood by children at a very, very young age. I was surprised. So I dug into research by nurses, clinical psychologists, and educators and found that kids can be taught as early as 2 to 5 years old about boundaries for their bodies and respecting others' boundaries. But all of this to say, I don't personally buy the age excuse that Sienna uses multiple times here. If you're old enough to know that punching someone in the face is wrong, for example, then you're old enough to know about SA and boundaries. And Sienna also has a full management, PR, and legal team overseeing all of this, so it's highly likely that grown-ass adults played a heavy role in Sienna's responses, even when she claimed it was all her. And honey, Professor Petty has no problem coming for these adults.
I unequivocally deny the allegations that I sexually assaulted Jack Wright. I am not making an apology video. This is more of a statement.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly break down the timeline of events leading up to Jack's video because it can get a little confusing. So Sienna and Jack were continually filming TikTok videos together into 2021, and they were also cast to be on the Netflix show Hype House. Now, at the end of May, Jack's friend Mason Rizzo posted a now deleted notepad statement on Twitter accusing Sienna May of essaying Jack multiple times. And I'll read a little bit of it here. I struggle with seeing a girl getting praised after telling my best friend to unalive himself and essaying him numerous times after he set boundaries, and then repeatedly wonder why he doesn't like you back. She prioritizes the growth of her platform rather than the positive message she represents herself as. Followers should not be an excuse to get away with abusive behavior. Now, for whatever reason, Mason later deleted the tweet saying that the families wanted to handle it privately. But I'll also note that Jack's brother James actually retweeted both of Mason's tweets in support of Jack, and Sienna responded with a 48-hour post on Instagram that said, "Friends fight and relationships sometimes change, but allegations of a criminal act are not to be thrown around loosely. Making an untrue essay claim is never okay. I'm beyond saddened by this situation. In order for us to all move forward, I will be taking this offline with Jack." Which, like, of course, like anyone accused of essay probably wants to get it offline as quickly as possible. Now, we do know that after filming for Netflix, Jack, Sienna, and friends went to Hawaii together, but that according to them both, they got in a huge fight. And we also know, after Sienna just appeared on the BFF's cringe-inducing podcast, that Hawaii was the last time that they spoke just before Mason released his tweets.
Literally since our last trip to Hawaii together. The last time I literally saw him was before I got on my flight, and we haven't talked since.
We gonna get caught up in all the doodah on that podcast in part 2 of this series. Girl, it takes a special kind of stupid to go on a podcast hosted by a grown-ass man who is accused of violently essaying and filming more than 5 women without their consent to prove that you didn't essay a man. I just, whoo! Okay, that shit stank worse than a Taco Bell bathroom, bitch. It is the company you keep, and Professor Petty has thought. So stay tuned for part 2. Exactly. So Jack also released a statement about Mason's post saying, "While I love sharing my life with all of you, some parts are deeply personal and I have been hesitant to share for my own emotional and mental well-being. I will say this, SA is a serious matter that has real consequences. Mason and James's only intention was to protect me with the truth, and I really value their enormous support through this extremely difficult time. I encourage my childhood friend Sienna to get the support and help that she needs." Now here's where things start to get much worse, so like strap in, stretch, do your Kegels, because this shit is just for the streets. So after making the statements that she will be handling this offline, Sienna did the most logical thing someone going offline would do. She posted a full ass denial video for the world to see, because, you know, nothing says taking it offline like putting it back online. Sienna posted a video titled "Addressing False Allegations," where she started the mood off with warm, gentle, comforting support for the victim and took full accountability, case closed. Just kidding, none of that shit happened.
I unequivocally deny the allegations that I sexually assaulted Jack Wright.
Bitch!
I'm not making an apology video. This is more of a statement.
Y'all know I take SA very seriously. I have done a zillion videos about this, so if there's a joke, it's not meant to disrespect. It's just to give a break from some of the heaviness. And y'all know that petty is my coping mechanism. So here we are, Petty University. Grab your grad caps, class is in session. There will be a quiz before the bell. So right out the gate, Sienna makes it clear that she refuses to apologize and denies she ever SA'd Jack.
I didn't want to bring this online, as I said in my statement earlier, but this has gotten to a point where my name is being dragged in the mud, and I am going to stand up for myself and tell the truth.
Now, I think that the whole offline, online thing already sets her up as being untrustworthy to her audience, who was expecting her to keep it private because she said that's what she was going to do. And then she drops this virtual bomb. And I also wonder if it was a manipulation of sorts to throw Jack off guard, like thinking it'll all move private, and then boop! Dipped my hand in grease. Here is my anti-apology wet ass slap in the face.
Larry, what the hell are you doing?
Larry, you can't just.
Like she about to take no prisoners in the worst way possible, and she doubles down on her denial.
I have nothing to apologize for because I did not sexually assault Jack Wright.
And again,
let me be clear one more time. I did not sexually assault Jack Wright.
Told y'all, she coming for everybody.
Hurry!
Now, Sienna goes on to say something ridiculous, that Jack never confirmed nor denied the allegations, as if that has any bearing whatsoever on whether or not the allegations are true.
Jack never confirmed or denied it, which makes the situation even worse because he never denied it knowing that is not true.
First of all, okay, sidebar, Your Honor, like, I believe that she was reading a statement, most likely written by a lawyer or a PR person.
I unequivocally deny the allegations. I unequivocally deny.
What in the whole grain Kanye West on a revenge tour and ain't nobody bought no tickets kinda shittlebits audacity is this?
I unequivocally deny.
So remember her merch apology video where she was reading?
I've heard the messages from many of you and I'm deeply sorry for any offense caused.
It's essentially the same vibe here, and ordinarily I wouldn't care, but she continually goes out of her way in all of her statements throughout this story to imply that it's all coming from her without management or PR.
It's currently 2 a.m. and I've been listening to everyone around me tell me what to do all day.
And I think that's an intentional manipulation. Like, whoever planned it intended to make young viewers think that this is all from her heart, when a lot of it is really from a highly skilled professional who is getting a paycheck. Moving on. She started using every blame tactic in the book that alleged abusers just love to throw at their victims as an attempt to invalidate the victim's story.
Over the past few months, Jack and I have been together almost every day, and he never once brought these sexual assault allegations to me in private, which is why I was so confused and in shock when they came out on public.
Gee, it's so shocking that Jack didn't feel safe coming to you with this. You know, it's almost like SA survivors might feel afraid to confront their abusers in private for fear their abuser might, you know, deny, shame, gaslight, and continue to abuse them in private. It's just baffling. If a survivor feels strong enough to share their story by any means, why the hell would they have to do it privately? That's what an abuser wants. Like, if you do a shitty abusive thing in private, allegedly, I have no problem with it being aired out publicly if that's what the victim wants. And you don't, the abuser, you don't get to say shit about it, okay? Class dismissed.
The tweet is now taken down and James Wright has removed all of his retweets, which I think says enough in itself.
No, Sienna.
Let me be clear one more time.
Don't do it, Sienna.
The allegations in Mason Rizzo's tweets are false.
Who is your PR team? Veronica, was this you? Peter, did you write this? We talked about this, Peter.
And James Wright has removed all of his retweets, which I think says enough in itself.
No, Sienna.
Jim, you're 6'11", and you weigh 90 pounds. Gumby has a better body than you. Boom. Roasted.
She then continues in what sounds more off script as her body language starts to move around and her eyes are more shifty and she stumbles on her words and she starts to use what I call the "but I love you" deflection.
It's honestly really embarrassing for me because I gave my entire heart and all of my love for 9 months so vulnerably on the internet. I cared about him on a personal level and I will always have a special place in my heart for him.
Now, if the allegations are true, then this is a common strategy among abusers where they blame the victim with the "I was strung along and misled."
For so long, I was strung along and misled by Jack.
And gaslight by saying, "Oh, but I love you. I would never hurt you, like, for real."
I never knew and I will never know if he truly loved me, even though he told me he did, all I can say is that I was in love with him.
As a means of controlling the victim, right?
It's so crazy to me how once a relationship or a friendship has ended, people will turn your very best qualities against you, which I know my very best qualities are the way I love. And that love and that passion is newly regarded as overwhelming. That passion is now newly regarded as possessive or desperate.
Here's the thing, Sienna. What you consider to be your very best qualities, like the way you love, isn't newly regarded as overwhelming, possessive, or desperate to Jack and his friends. It's newly regarded that way to you. Just because you didn't regard it as possessive at any point in time doesn't mean Jack didn't. And just because Jack didn't say anything to you at the time also doesn't mean it's newly regarded by him. It simply means that he wasn't ready or didn't know how to confront you. And I wonder why.
I unequivocally deny the allegations that I sexually assaulted Jack Wright.
Now, abuse is often about power and control. By declaring I love you, it often manipulates the victim, intending to make them feel guilty for feeling abused. And it can actually freeze their defenses, like trapped in the whole "don't you love me" excuse. It's all part of the many facets of what is called the cycle of abuse. You may have heard of it. The cycle of abuse is a social cycle theory developed to explain patterns of behavior in an abusive relationship. And there's this diagram to better explain where phase 1 starts with tensions building, usually involving a breakdown of communication. So this could be where Sienna wanted a relationship and Jack didn't, and Sienna was doing things that Jack was uncomfortable with without consent, but he felt the need to placate her, if you will. Now, phase 2 shifts to the incident, the SA. Then there's reconciliation, where the abuser might either apologize or blame the victim, as Sienna is doing here, followed by the calm honeymoon phase. This is where the abuser is claiming "I love you," brings the flowers, and "I care for you" manipulation.
That is so frustrating to me, and after everything that I did for him and after all the love that I gave him, I feel so stupid.
And there it is. After everything I did for him, all the love,
I feel so stupid.
Like, child, listen, okay? Just because you think you're giving doesn't mean he wanted.
That's the wrong number!
And judging by the fact that Sienna claimed he wouldn't commit to the kind of relationship that she wanted, then absolutely he might feel like your actions, touching, climbing in the windows, getting naked, all of that are possessive or desperate. And can I nitpick for a quick? After telling how much she loved Jack and that Jack wasn't reciprocating, she says this.
And so 2 weeks ago, I asked him to film a video with me for my mental health sake because I couldn't move on with everyone thinking that we were still together.
Everyone thinking that we were still together.
With everyone thinking that we were still together.
Her saying "we were still together" makes me think that she may have, I don't know, conjured up an actual dating relationship in her mind and treated Jack like they were together, or like if she just continues to act this way that eventually he'll just succumb to it, even though they weren't.
I was misled and played by him in a relationship that wasn't defined because of him.
So she's literally admitting he did not want to define a committed relationship.
He never defined the relationship because it was beneficial for him to keep it undefined.
There are still some truly disturbing statements from Sienna's first video where she literally tries to out other SA that Jack might have experienced.
I've seen numerous arguments asking why lie about sexual assault, and this isn't a lie. But it wasn't me who sexually assaulted him. Jack, I'm so sorry that I have to do this to you and I have to out you like this.
So she starts off by, again, denying that she SA'd him, then apologizes for what she's about to do, as if like anyone would believe that she was remorseful. And then she says this.
I was trying to be there for the both of us and trying to keep your name and your personal business out of it, but you didn't keep my personal business out of it, knowing damn well that your friends were gonna post those tweets.
In one breath, she manages to white knight herself as Jack's SA savior, saying I was there for the both of us.
I was trying to be there for the both of us,
while simultaneously weaponizing this alleged other SA from somebody else, threatening to out Jack with possible other SA,
and trying to keep your name and your personal business out of it, but you didn't keep my personal business out of it.
And then proceeds to make good on the threat by actually outing it.
And I'm sorry, but you know I did not sexual assault you. We both know what happened, and we both know who it was, and we both know that I was not at that gathering that night.
So then she manages to make herself the victim by invalidating and shaming him with this.
I'm so disappointed in you. I'm so disappointed in you and the people around you because they are letting you misplace your trauma onto me, and I'm so sorry that this happened to you.
And what bothers me the most is just how she blankets this with love.
It's not my place to speak your story.
You're right. It is not your place to speak, but I have a feeling you're going to keep going.
But it's not your place to allow false allegations to be spread about me when we both know that I was not the one who did this to you.
Whew, child, this shit just got me heated. Okay, this got me wanting to punch someone in the balls. Allegedly. And again, I'm really trying to consider her age when she made this video, though she clearly had a team helping her, but let's play along. Let's say that Jack was also SA'd by another person at another time. For one, it's none of anyone's business because Jack has not talked about it. But number two, Sienna is acting like if he was SA'd by someone else, that he couldn't also have been SA'd by her, perpetuating the bullshit stigmas against survivors that they can't possibly be abused more than once and by more than one person.
Mason, I loved you as a brother, and I'm sorry that I have to do this, but you took it too far, just like you always do.
And now we move on to the part of the show where Sienna thought it best to issue threats against multiple people. And I'm sorry, y'all, but this shit done wore me out. I gotta take us back to Petty University. It is just so ridiculous. Roll the intro. Class in session, grab your notebooks. Professor Petty has entered the chat. And a bitch left her patients at home. Okay, let's do this. Sienna's legal team must be quaking after she posted this.
Mason, you posted false claims and you slandered my name, and we all know that none of this is true.
Hey, what's going on here?
Oh, sir, I'm arrested.
Whatever evidence you think you have, either post it or send it to me and I'll post it, because you have nothing. Actually, keep posting things, because we both know that's not true, and my legal team is gathering evidence as we speak.
I bet she regrets this threat now, bitch, because we all know shortly after she made this threat to post evidence, Lachlan came with the quickness and dropped that video of Sienna SAing Jack, allegedly.
Jack. As you can clearly see, that is Sienna and that is Jack passed out on the couch, unconscious. This is the first time I met Sienna and I did not know that they had a fake relationship. This is me in the white hat. I was taking care of Jack while he was unconscious on the couch.
Boom. Roasted.
Now we'll get into that video in a moment. I'm just saying, you shouldn't make threats that you can't keep up with.
Save it, bro. Come on, Josh, save it. Come on, Josh. Go, Josh, save it. Yes.
But you know what? Fuck it. What's a few threats among friends? Let's make some more.
I hope you're ready for the real consequences that come from these seriously false allegations. I'm sorry, and I loved you, but what you did is so low and unforgivable. Be ready.
And she addresses the allegations made by people online who went to school with her, saying that she bullied them, to which she says this.
And I don't remember saying anything or hurting anybody, although a lot of the experiences and interactions that I've seen are false.
How do you not remember bullying anybody, but also know that it's false? Like, if you don't remember, then you can't say that it's a lie. But then she says the most batshit absurd nonsense.
If you have a problem with me, please feel free to call me, and if you don't have my number, then we don't have a problem.
What an actual bitch thing to say.
And if you don't have my number, then we don't have a problem.
If you don't have my number, then we don't have a problem.
Hey, what's going on here?
Why are people like this famous? And I don't mean that in a condescending way, but why does someone like this have a platform this size? Like this highbrow, if you aren't cool enough to have my number, then you if I bullied you in the past, you insignificant underling. And the thing is, like, this one little statement, in my opinion, you can take it or leave it, is what defines how Sienna thinks and feels about others who she hurts. If you're not privileged enough to have her number, then it didn't happen, there's no problem. If Jack didn't talk to her privately, then it didn't happen, there's no problem. And if Jack didn't go to the police, then bitch, I guess it didn't happen, there's no problem. Y'all, I can't underscore it enough. Stop standing bullshit and let the trash take itself out.
I watched that.
Class dismissed. Oh wait, you know what? I almost forgot the best part.
And although I'm not a perfect person, I'm working towards becoming the best version of myself, and karma is real.
Why does this have a platform?
Why?
Karma is real.
Okay, class dismissed.
Whatever evidence you think you have, either post it or send it to me and I'll post it, because you have nothing.
So after Sienna's anti-apology video, she lost 600,000 TikTok followers in 5 days. But I should note, in the week of May 31st through June 7th, she also gained 22,000 YouTube subscribers. Kind of telling. But remember how Sienna made a threat about releasing evidence?
Whatever evidence you think you have, either post it or send it to me and I'll post it, because you have nothing.
Well, a bitch backfired. Because on June 3rd, Jack's friend Lachlan Hanneman said, "I see your threat and I will raise you one super damning piece of evidence."
This video is from November 30th, 2020.
Jack.
As you can clearly see, that is Sienna and that is Jack passed out on the couch, unconscious. This is the first time I met Sienna and I did not know that they had a fake relationship. This is me in the white hat. I was taking care of Jack while he was unconscious on the couch. Sienna then hops on top of him and I didn't think nothing of it. I started hearing kissing noises and I peeked over my shoulder and it was exactly that. I was so thrown off guard that I had to leave the situation. Whatever their relationship was at the time, obviously this was not right. So I went back and took Sienna off of Jack. Not to mention, when I got closer, I noticed her right hand inappropriately touching his crotch. She was shocked that I pulled her off and she kept trying to justify what she had just done. I talked to James and Jack the next day about the situation that happened that night. And James said that happens all the time. These are the facts, and I'm a witness.
So in the video, we saw Jack on a couch. Now, I'm gonna try and blur parts because I don't personally feel okay with sharing this, but you can see that Sienna is straddling him, kissing him, and appears to be grabbing his personals. Oh, and did I mention, Jack says that he was completely unconscious.
The Hawaii incident happened where I was passed out unconscious almost like the whole night. She got on top of me, took advantage of me, groped me. I'm so glad they pulled her off of me.
Now, just to clarify for a moment, it's not consent if you're afraid or unable to say no, or manipulated, pressured, or threatened to say yes. It's also not consent if you or your partner are unable to give consent, including if you're asleep, unconscious, or under the influence of substances like alcohol, some prescription medication, and other drugs. And remember how Sienna said that she was taking this offline and then brought it online with her first apology? Well, she took it online again, this time in a much, much worse video response filled with absolutely atrocious, predictable, deflecting statements that, as a whole, in my opinion, perpetuate stigmas against survivors, not just Jack, but all victims. And that's where I draw the line. That's right, I'm pleased to announce that due to personal reasons, I have decided to be that bitch.
Guess what, bitch?
Brace yourself.
Once again, I'm having to give context to a video that was put out and immediately deleted. And I am a victim of continual attempts to cancel me and slander my name with false claims.
So let's dig in a bit to Sienna's second video response.
After the initial claims that were falsely made by Mason Rizzo, I put out a video that showed evidence and was very well received because people could see the true intention.
I'm sorry, y'all. I know that this is serious, but I can't. Like, when you start off with a literal lie.
I put out a video that showed evidence.
Your Honor, I object.
Objection, Your Honor. Can we clarify to the court?
I don't know what in the Pete Davidson on a slice of whole wheat toast is going on, but Sienna did did not show any evidence in her first video. Like, sitting in front of a camera and yelling about how you did not SA someone allegedly is not evidence of innocence. Now, she showed a screenshot that was unrelated to the allegations, and I think a lot of people have actually confused that screenshot to mean that she was trying to get Jack to do that very video you're seeing it in. That's not the video she was talking about. The video she was talking about trying to get Jack to participate in has not been made.
Once again, I'm having to give context to a video that was put out and immediately deleted.
A video that you threatened them to put out. Like, you literally told them to do it.
Whatever evidence you think you have, either post it or send it to me and I'll post it, because you have nothing.
She then triples down on her denial and says this.
We must always listen to victims. Yes.
Oh, she badly wanted to say but there and knew that she couldn't. We must always listen to victims, but...
Jack was a victim of sexual assault, but not by me. And I am a victim of continual attempts to cancel me and slander my name with false claims. It will not work.
You can probably already tell that this diatribe is garbage, in my opinion, as a survivor. And just like the first video, she denies and then outs Jack as having been SA'd by someone else when Jack has never spoken publicly about that, so we don't know if that's even true. Someone else's SA story is none of your fucking business.
Shut your f***ing mouth! Shut it!
Okay, that's all. Thanks. And real quick, let me just reiterate, if any of you watching have someone in your life who's abused you and they come at you like this and then wrap it up with the "but I love you," if it's safe, and only if it's safe, please throw that shit sandwich back at them, because they should know how that crusty ass unseasoned dish actually tastes. I am telling y'all, Petty University, stay ready. Come on, somebody.
Because I'm super hot, boy.
Let's continue.
And trust me, I have tried multiple times to take this offline.
No, Sienna.
And I am continually undermined by Jack and his inner circle.
Sienna may know. Mason deleted his tweet saying they agreed to take this offline. Then you made an 8-minute response video bringing it back online and attacked them for deleting the tweet, which he did because he was trying to take it offline. Then the video evidence was posted online, but only after you threatened Jack, James, Mason, Lachlan, and like random high schoolers.
Whatever evidence you think you have, either post it or send it to me and I'll post it.
And then you brought it online again by making a second response video.
If you present evidence of somebody being sexually assaulted, don't you think you should stand by it?
Bitch, y'all. The gaslighting is real. Lord Jesus have mercy, child. Mason posts a tweet. Sienna demands it be taken offline. Mason takes it offline. Sienna makes a whole video gaslighting them about taking it offline. Make it make sense.
And it looks a little suspicious when you immediately remove it from the internet.
Honey, the only thing that looks suspicious is the person essaying someone on camera in 4K. I could be wrong, but that's a little suspicious.
The evidence is evidence. You don't delete evidence.
Then why did you delete your 3 videos, Sienna May? I told y'all not to play with Swoop today, okay?
And I encourage you to go watch my recent YouTube videos featuring Jack. You will see that this behavior was normal. Online, we touched each other, kissed each other.
There is a stark difference between the clips Sienna shows and the evidence video. In every example that she shows, every one, Jack is awake, alert, and well aware that there is a camera filming. In the evidence video, he's passed out and there are witnesses.
Lachlan claims that he was unconscious. If he was unconscious, why did his arm move when you got up?
His arm didn't move, like it slid off the shoulder of Lachlan as he got up and flopped on the couch.
Lachlan also claims that my hand is on Jack's crotch. While it is not, my hand is very visibly on Jack's thigh, upper thigh.
Not only is it not visibly on his upper thigh, but either way, you do realize that if Jack was passed out, a hand on the upper thigh while kissing someone passed out without their consent is still, and let me say this clearly, sexual assault.
But is it against the law though?
Yes. Yes, it is.
But is it against the law though?
I also want to point out, because I haven't heard anyone catch this, that in this video it shows Sienna talking with someone in the kitchen and her pants appear to be fully unzipped, and I just, like, I don't know the circumstances of the party. Maybe that's a bikini bottom underneath, maybe no one cares, but like, if a man was walking around fully unzipped at a party, I don't know that it would get the same reception. I'm just saying.
If Jack was being sexually assaulted in this moment, James, why did you record it? And I know that if my brother saw me being taken advantage of, he would pick up the person on top of me and beat them to shit.
Imagine if James, a man, picked up a woman in any scenario and beat her to shit. So maybe take a guess as to why he didn't do that. Moving on.
Obviously, Lachlan stood up. Of course he's gonna stand up. If someone's making out right next to me, I'm gonna get uncomfortable and I'm gonna stand up.
Then why are you doing this? If you know that straddling, groping, and making out with someone, whether they're conscious or not, right next to someone else would make the other person uncomfortable, as you say, would make you uncomfortable.
If someone's making out right next to me, I'm gonna get uncomfortable.
Then why the hell are you doing it?
James claimed this happened all the time and it made them uncomfortable. First of all, if they were so uncomfortable, why didn't they say anything to me?
This might be the perfect time for the wheel of deflection. I haven't brought her out in a minute because honestly, I just can't anymore.
Deflection.
First of all, if they were so uncomfortable, why didn't they say anything to me?
She literally just said that she was doing something inappropriate that would make even her uncomfortable, yet shames the witness for not being comfortable enough to confront her while she's doing it.
Why didn't they say anything to me?
Like, this is one of the contributing factors to why many assaults that are witnessed by someone else don't stop, because people are literally afraid to confront the abuser. Bitch, like, do I need to go on, read a book?
The next day, December 1st, they willingly hung out with me, which doesn't align with the story, because if I was just taken advantage of, wouldn't want to hang out with that person the next day willingly.
Do you have any idea how many people in the world get SA'd on a daily basis by a partner and are still around their abuser the next day?
This is also a TikTok that was made December 1st, not even 24 hours after the said sexual assault. Do you think Jack would have made this video with me if he felt uncomfortable from the night before?
Who would feel comfortable confronting someone like this who speaks so aggressively?
Do you think Jack would have made this video with me if he felt uncomfortable from the night before?
Apparently in Sienna's world, the statute of limitations for when a victim can come forward is less than 24 hours. Not the 10 years for adults or 23-year statute of limitations that the actual law has set for minors to come forward. No, in the law according to Sienna, you got 24 hours. Maybe. Like, there are people who are SA'd in their relationships and they keep dating them. People who stay married, most often because they feel trapped, or they've convinced themselves that it must not be that bad. How many of us have said that to ourselves? Or here's a fun one. I'm a guy, she's done this a lot, and no one will believe me, so I'll deal with it silently.
If there was a problem, why did we continue to hang out? And why did we continue to film flirty videos?
Like, please know, if you have survived abuse, there is literally no timeline on when or if you share your story. It is your choice, period. But ironically, we can also flip this and ask Sienna the same questions that she asked Jack.
If there was a problem, why did we continue to hang out?
Well, I don't know, Sienna. Why did you continue to hang out with Jack? You said there was a problem in the relationship, that he wouldn't commit and that you loved him but he didn't want to date. So why didn't you leave? See how shitty of a question that is? But it works both ways if you want to go there.
And why did we continue to film flirty videos.
He didn't want a relationship, so why did you continue to push it? Why is it that Jack isn't also allowed to be confused or feel misled, especially given the SA allegations? Victims are often confused and left hoping that the other person will change because that person keeps telling them that they love them. Did that ever occur to you? So Sienna, like, if you see nothing wrong with the fact that you stayed hoping Jack would change his ways, why is it not okay that Jack stayed, perhaps hoping that you would change and stop SAing him? Allegedly. You can't have it both ways.
I decided to take a month off of social media due to the negativity surrounding my platform.
So after all of this, Sienna posts one of the most unique responses to a social media PR crisis and alleged criminal acts. She announced that she took a break from social media with a modern interpretive dance thing. Grab your grad caps real quick, because you already know there's only one way for me to make it through this. Petty University, welcome back. So first, why spend money renting this loft to make this and then delete it?
If you present evidence, don't you think you should stand by it?
Now she started off this work of art by saying this.
I decided to take a month off of social media due to the negativity surrounding my platform.
What in the Justin Bieber on Ice? Okay, she took time off due to negativity. The negativity that she created.
It was honestly one of the most difficult times in my life for many reasons. But through struggle, I found clarity within myself and with who I want to surround myself with.
Like, can somebody tell me why influencers do this? Like, why they martyr themselves as victims of the fires that they burned? Now look, just a side note, like, many of y'all know that I shared my experience of racism, gaslighting, and power abuse done by an influencer, and someone sent me a post from her a while back where she was literally proclaiming to be a phoenix rising from the ashes, and it's remarkable to me that someone is so opposed to taking accountability that they white knight themselves as a savior in their own problematic and harmful behavior. Like, the fire that made those ashes was lit by them. How about some good old-fashioned accountability instead? Moving on. Now, Sienna danced to a Sam Smith song called Young, and I'm sure that he is thrilled that his song was used for this without his consent. The song's lyrics are basically about being a carefree wild child and it's okay because I'm young. Except in Sam's context, he's not alluding to criminal activity. Now, since I can't play any of the song because of the copyright, I've switched it out and allow me to perform a dramatic reading of some of the lyrics that she danced to. I wanna be wild and young and not be afraid to lose, but they're watching me, judging me, making me feel so used. Can't you see that all I want to do is get a little wild, get a little high, kiss 100 boys and not feel like I'm tied to them? If you want to judge me, then go load the gun. I've done nothing wrong. I'm young. It's a great song in its own context, not with this purpose though.
But is it against the law though?
Yes, Sienna. Yes. Now let's talk about her statements that precede the copyright infringing dance portion of the video.
My purpose in this life is to create, and whether that's silly TikTok dances or showing unedited photos of myself.
Unedited selfies, aka regular ass photos that everyone on the literal planet takes, but cool. Now my favorite part is when she goes on to thank some folks.
And more than anything, I'm beyond thankful for my family, friends, partnerships, and supporters.
I would like to thank my partnerships, like chill! I've never heard someone's anti-apology video about SA allegations include a thank you to their brand partnerships.
There's a song by Sam Smith that I think a lot of people my age can relate to.
Now, I just feel like I should point out that she and her team most likely did not license this Sam Smith song, which legally, if you're going to use someone's entire song for your own video, you're supposed to license it. So I guess technically she used this song without Sam Smith's consent in her video, deflecting away allegations about SAing Jack without his consent. So at least she's consistent. Now, instead of watching her modern deflective dance, I would much rather watch another YouTuber, Mr. Beard's version of it. I mean, it's internet gold, people.
I wanna be wild and young and not be afraid to abuse.
Class dismissed. Hi, pork chop. So I got a couple of things to say and then I will get to my final thoughts. Oh, are we grumpy? Say hi, pork chop. Y'all, can you believe how big they are now? I can't believe it. And they have their 1-year birthday next month. So first of all, be on the lookout for part 2 of this series, which will be coming very soon. Y'all, if you thought this one was intense, honey, brace yourself. Secondly, and I can't say this enough, like with all of my heart, I just want to thank everyone who's got their official Petty University apparel. Like launching an apparel line has been an absolute dream of mine, and I can't say enough how much your support has truly meant to me. And I'm so excited to say that new designs and new pieces are coming to the Petty University line, so get ready, stretch, moisturize, whatever you gotta do, honey, because it's coming and y'all are gonna love it. Oh, and I also restocked the military grade because y'all been asking, okay? I got the response, okay? Every 3 to 5 business days, y'all be up in my DMs, so that is restocked. Please also keep tagging me on Instagram so I can repost your Petty University looks and outfits. A couple of Twitter shoutouts from my Creepshow Art, Emily Artful interview doc, which if you haven't seen it, it's honestly one of my favorite docs that I have ever done, so I highly recommend it. Do you see forgiveness happening?
I will never.
First shout out goes to DJ Sauls, who said, "This video has spoken to me in a way no other material or person has." Especially when Emily Artful talked about empathy and was about to cry from the interview, I felt that. And second shout out goes to Sarah Navigato, who says, "This was such a powerful doc and was handled so well. Thank you for taking the time to interview Emily Artful, and this done with so much care. Also love the quick trips to Petty University. I need to get me some PU merch." Thank you so much for the kind words. I am so stoked that everyone enjoyed that doc. It'll be linked below if you haven't seen it. And if you want to be in my next Twitter shout out, make sure to follow me on Twitter, linked below, and retweet this video right here. And hit me up on Instagram, that's where I be spelling all the tea, honey. Oh man, you get heavy, you get hefty, boy. You packing them pounds, you eating them cans. You eat them cans so good. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to body shame you. I love you, every inch of you. There, you can go play and do the things. If y'all can't tell, I am like really this close to just being a complete foster fail with 4 of these babies now, because they're still with me. Huge thank you again to Raycon for sponsoring this doc, and be sure to click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/swoop to unlock exclusive deals up to 20% off and treat yourself, honey. Here's a simple truth for the Siennas of the world. Consent is not a blanket. Consent today does not mean consent tomorrow, does not mean consent 5 minutes from now. And just because an abuser wants to put a timeline on when a victim should come forward, doesn't mean they have any right to force that. If you have survived abuse, the only timeline that matters is yours, period. Trauma does not take paid vacations, honey, so trust me, you take the time that you need. And as we think about Sienna, while I've tried to weigh the fact that she's 18 years old, research time and again has shown that consent is a concept understood at very early ages, so I don't personally think that age is an excuse that she can lean on. But we should remember that Sienna is an accidental influencer. She posted a silly TikTok video that required no real thought or effort or, talent, and became famous essentially overnight. We have to remember that just because someone is thrown into celebrity doesn't mean they're someone worthy of influencing the masses. And that will reveal itself through time and how they handle situations such as this. And I know we live in an era where we're supposed to congratulate everyone for participating in the influencer arena and being creators, but bitch, like, some folks need to have several seats. Like, their shit stinks just like everybody else's. In the end, I hope that Jack gets the help and support he needs, and I hope that people become more open and understanding to male victims. And in the same breath, I hope that Sienna gets the help that she needs as well. Just remember, we don't have to stan everyone and everything that is trending just because they have zillions of views. Like, take your time, assess, and decide for yourself if that influencer is worthy of influencing you. And if they're not, it's okay to send them to the streets. But you know what? Y'all got this. Class dismissed. Swoop!